amazing audience. Oh my gosh. Where I am. Oh gosh. I'm gonna make sure Jamea in the shot.
I can't see a thing anyway. So.
I think we're good though. We good, Aunt?
I'm in the shade. Is that okay?
Yeah, man, we're all good.
We're good?
Yeah, I just have to lean in.
Hi, everyone. Just doing some checks here.
Wonderful?
Yeah.
Alright. So how you going?
I'm all right.
Face to face, you're real. I want to
I
make sure.
I exist.
Pleasure to meet you
It's a
face
pleasure
to
to
face.
meet you after speaking with you for so long.
Yeah, it's been
It
what,
was
a
good.
year and a half?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. How are you doing?
It's summer in Toronto and things are in full force, so
It's like
I'm pretty
Trinidad.
happy.
It's like Trinidad.
Always in Trinidad.
Well, this like Trinidad, the weather.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, everybody was saying when you get up there, make sure you have a coat and, you know. Oh, God, the place hot. Right now they're blaming me. They say I bring the heat.
36 degrees.
So the last time we spoke about a ton of things, right? Give us an update for those who don't even know what you do, right? Please tell us what you do, and I mean, like, what's the newest thing?
Well, in a nutshell, I think of myself as a carnival cultural arts animator.
Right.
And that pretty much means bringing the culture alive, recalling the memory of the culture and the history of the culture, and integrating it with what's happening now in terms of carnival arts. So I am involved in organizing, and I used to play steel pan in Toronto for over 25 years. And my biggest accomplishment there is when I brought a group of children who play in a community steel pan called North Stars to Trinidad for carnival, so that they can see the birthplace of the pan, but not only that, the birthplace of the people who have great inventions.
Yeah.
Right? Such as a steel pan.
I was about to say that, just like the pan.
Yes. Well, that's the point, right?
Right.
So I want them to see that a community such as Laventille could be creators and innovators of something that nobody else in the world could have thought of. And that was very powerful.
It is.
Very moving experience to the young people who came. As well, I'm involved in organizing the Pride Toronto festivities,
Right.
the 2S LGBTIQQ festival here in Toronto.
Right.
And we just celebrated our 20th anniversary for Blockorama,
Wow.
of which I was the founding chair.
Explain what is Blockorama.
It is now known as the first and only black stage at Pride, and it is now the biggest stage at Pride, period. At the time of the inception, from its name, I had a desire to bring mass on the parade, because as an LGBT person, I just felt, I went to the Pride parade and there was no carnival, and I was like, how could a Trini be living in a city with this big parade and there's no mass in the parade?
Yeah.
So anyway, long story short, I wasn't able to get the mass band the first year, and then I thought, well, if we can't get a mass band, we have a blocko, and that blocko is named Blockorama. And in the essence of, again, Trinidad, my reference, we had a staged celebration. So now it is out of this world, and the original one had steel pan, some mass, drag queens, and now they had SWV as a headliner, and just 3 years ago, they have some really big hitters at this stage.
I remember you said you brought Destra too, right?
That's what I'm about to talk about.
Yeah.
3 years ago, Destra Garcia was the first Caribbean international artist to hit the stage at Pride, at any Pride. And then after Destra was Alison Hines from Barbados.
All organized by you. You were the person.
Yes, I was the person who organized those acts.
Yeah.
I no longer sit in the Blockorama organizing committee,
Okay.
but I did help to bring the soca and the Caribbean experience in the LGBT Pride Parade.
Yeah. Tell us about, I'm not sure if you want to share your professional in terms of...
Oh, I'm a teacher.
Yeah, there we go.
And I will always be a teacher. I've been teaching for over 24 years. First I started off at the Linden School for Girls, Canada's first and only feminist girls' school. And now I teach with the Toronto District School Board and a newly promoted vice principal. I just love teaching and I love working with families and community.
Now, I'm concerned about our voice. I don't want you shouting too loud and you don't get to the end of this interview.
I will get to the end of the interview. I will get to the end of the interview.
You want any water or anything just in case? All right?
Thanks. Yeah.
All right, so one of the segments we like to cover is your own unique real shoes, right? All right, or slippers, right? And that speaks to many times people see your shoes or your slippers or your flip-flops and they say, oh,
it's interesting because I don't see life as a struggle, though other people may see it as a struggle.
Yeah.
There are many obstacles, daily obstacles, that I face, and I can't even come up with an example. I really can't.
That's good.
Because I don't see them as that. I just go through them.
What caused you to build that strength of reframing your mindset, reframing the way your viewpoints, if you would?
I would say Gonzales. Trinidad is just powerful.
Yeah.
And you familiar with Gonzales?
No, tell me more.
I'm sure you've been in Gonzales.
I've passed through Gonzales.
Okay, so I lived on Leontine Lane.
Right.
And I had to walk from Leontine Lane to Gonzales Escalier School, an Anglican school, very small. And I loved the school. I loved learning. And when I grew up, got a little bit older, came to Canada when I was 11. It was... Then you realize, you get a consciousness. Wait a minute. I lived in poverty. Wait a minute. The world sees this as one of the lowest performing schools, not in the world, but in retrospect.
Yeah.
And now that I'm in education, I will cautiously say the world, cautiously.
Yeah.
Because not in terms of performance, literacy and numeracy, performance of the children in the school, but in terms of opportunities. When you have the intellectual capacity to get to university and you're not able to get.
Yeah.
So to me, that's the definition of poverty. Not that you don't have. It's the infrastructure of societies doesn't present you with the doors that open for you to use your intellectual capacity to benefit your future being.
Yeah.
And mindset. I was blessed because I didn't see this. I see Gonzales for me, not for everyone, but for me, as a place where it nurtured me, it nourished me. It's a community. There's a strong. Our neighbors were Shango Baptist.
Yeah.
So I was used to run away and go there.
Yeah.
And
catch our power.
I actually caught the power.
Yeah.
Literally. So that's a conversation for another time.
Correct.
But spirituality is so important for me, and so I guess it's the spirit of the community. And there were a lot of people who believed in me.
That's one thing you keep echoing, even from our previous conversation, the power of community.
It is very important.
Yeah, I believe
I was
so.
listening to an interview on CBC last week, and a woman was talking about how she got her schooling. She's a PhD now. She's a refugee. And she got her schooling in refugee camps. And the interviewer couldn't believe it. And I was driving in my car and I'm like, I could believe it.
Community.
Because people came from different communities to share that educational experience.
Yeah. Which is beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. And more than beautiful, or as well as beautiful, it's powerful.
Yeah, it's very powerful.
It changes people's lives.
Yeah.
So,
from this online conversation, right? When you heard that this guy from Trinidad that you spoke to since then was coming to meet you, what did you think?
I was like, this guy's crazy. I was in the mass camp, but it's Luis Saldaña's mass camp.
Yeah.
As you know, I have a company called Pilau Carnival Arts.
Right.
So mass, soca, calypso, and pan.
Right.
So my mom's a mass maker.
Right.
And she sewed for Sally, Luis Saldaña's dad.
Yeah.
In Trinidad. And like I said, I'm 25 years in the pan. And lately, well, I've brought the mass and the pride parade. And for my ignition, I just thought, you know what? What would it feel like if I brought a kiddies in Louis' band? So, true to being a teacher and closing up a school in June, I'm also opening a kiddies section.
Right.
So, I was at the mass camp last night, and I get this call. I was like, is this guy crazy? Like, honestly. And they want to meet me now. It's Canada Day. I just came from an expat boat ride.
Oh my.
Tired as heck, sunburnt, and I'm in a mass camp. And I was like, come meet me at the mass camp.
Yeah.
But luckily I live down
Not
the
too
street.
far.
And I just thought that you're dedicated. I love the conversation that we had, because there aren't very many people having these conversations, and just conversations about our future. You talked about my flip-flop. Usually I wear running shoes because I'm an ex-marathon runner.
Yeah.
So I just thought if he's willing to track me down, then I should be willing to take a cool drive.
Yeah.
To Starbucks, and I said Lakeshore and Leslie, that's down where
It's
I live.
amazing how that connected though, right? It's not like I knew you were here and she was here,
I'm
right?
just around the corner, so I was like, you know what? Let me jump in the car before I go to the mass camp and meet up with this guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's amazing. What
So
are you?
I like the work you do.
Thank you
And
very
I like
much.
the conversations. And I have a dear friend, our dear friend Rhonda, who referred you.
Yeah.
And anything that's Rhonda and is powerful. Anything that's Rhonda is love and community.
Yeah.
With regard to our culture as Trinbagonians.
Yeah.
I trusted you, and here you are. I knew I'd beat you some point.
Yeah.
I know
The power of
I'd
a
beat you at some
conversation,
point.
right?
Yes, for sure.
The power of a conversation. All right, madam. What would you like to say in closing?
Continue to do the work that you do. I just want generally to let people know that cultural arts bring meaning to life. It brings value to a person's life, and it has nothing to do with economics. Bypass that conversation. It has to do with the soul, feeding the soul and connecting with spirit and unleashing the spirit. And that sums up why I'm involved. You know, and what I get from it, and which I hope I could continue along a very vibrant and lustrous tradition of so many people, of our ancestors, of my living mother today. I just want us to spread that, to spread the love of cultural arts, to bring meaning and happiness to people's lives, because it certainly brought meaning and happiness to my life.
Love that. Jamea Zuberi, folks. Hearing it live, Trinidad. Come quite Canada to meet this Trinidadian.
Carnival Arts.
There we go.
There we go.
Well, I don't eat chicken, but I could
Neither
take out
do
the
I,
chicken
but
and eat it.
You never heard of veggie pilau?
Yeah. You have that too?
My brother laugh at me when I make veggie pilau.
Yeah, Amanda's always make veggie pilau for
Veggie
me.
pilau, which a dish I was making that up
Cook the
25
chicken
years
separate,
ago.
yeah. If we don't know what pilau is, we gotta do another thing for that, right? But again, Jamea Zuberi, thank you for being on What Is
Pilau
Inspired
Carnival Arts.
by 12-minute convos with Angel Jones. Boom.